Salute to the Colonel, nigga. Master P. Colonel James Montgomery. The North is bout it. He gave Harriet Tubman guns, nigga. Real shit. Google it. Ohio, nigga. We bout it. I'm from the O-H-I-O. The clan no won't smoke, cause we quick to tag they toes. Boom. We from the North. We take no shows. Kidnap these crackers and hang they throats by the rope. We with Lincoln. Fuck you hunky stinking. Bloody your white sheets and lead the clan stinking. This Ohio, slaves came for survival. Confederate Dixie flag, Ku Klux Klan are my rivals. I got my rifle, and I'm killing rebels. Master Far Muhammad, call them white devils. This supreme wisdom, you ain't on my level. Paramount is dead, go and get the shovel. Dropping mystic clues, Union soldiers in blue. Abe, freed the slaves, pussy nigga, won't you tell the truth? What you scared for? A line of black folks, stop telling niggas it was a trick from the North. Slavery got you fucked, cause it's in your DNA. Abe ain't freed the slaves, it's some whole shit to say. Cause we bout it, I don't doubt it. Harriet Tubman, Union soldiers, won't you niggas shout it? Shout 54, Massachusetts. Abe gave us guns, we marched south and we used them. 7-shot Spencers when the South was against us. You can see I'm getting defensive cause your lies be offensive. You don't make sense, get your ass off the fence. Harriet Tubman would've shot you cause you acting like a bitch. You a bitch. What side you on? Screaming in the microphone. Union soldiers on patrol told the South get gone. We beat them, they suckers we defeat them. Emancipation Proclamation, Battle of the Kingdom. Won't you Google, nigga? You a doodle, nigga. Try to come against me and watch me do that voodoo, nigga. Union shooters, strapped with the Rugers. We beat breast and brag, fag ass in Chattanooga. South Carolina, they won't out, cause Abe Lincoln took the White House. This is slavery, nigga. It's what it's about. Won't you check the records from the dirty South? These are facts, bitch. Won't you shut your fucking mouth? Trying to sound deep, YouTube chasing clout. We bout it, we rowdy. This Ohio nigga, and we been bout it. This the Civil War, won't you check the record? If the shit is false, won't you please contest it? William Sherman, he bout it, wrote 40 acres in the mule, so we bout it. Edward Stanton, he bout it, he the Secretary of War, so we bout it. General Grant, you know we bout it, made Lee surrender, cause he bout it. James Montgomery, he bout it, gave Harriet Tubman guns, so he bout it. We all from Ohio, nigga, cause we bout it. No slaves across the Ohio River, forget about it. This up north, nigga, we bout it. Ain't no slaves. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Spiritual Politics. What's happening? Give me a quick mic check real fast, because this is a live. I want to make sure that we good, so this conversation can commence. All right. Boom. First government. Tonight's conversation was the first government of the United States of America against slavery. This is going to be pretty good. It's actually going to be pretty fast. What's up, Michael? Am I good? Can y'all hear me on the mic check? We good? This is going to be pretty cool. I wonder if I can find that. Oh, I can't find it since I'm in here. That's cool. Dang. But if you're new to the channel, click the like button, subscribe. Appreciate the comments, man. It's very nice of you. Somebody mentioned something about being a high school teacher. This is the way it should be taught. I agree. This is the way it should be taught. All right. So the first government, was it anti-slavery? Again, man, this is really important because I don't think I was never sat down and told that, hey, you know what? The very first government, your first government officials, really, that's why I'm calling it the first government. Hey, man, these dudes were actually anti-slavery. Some may have been abolitionists, and they were on the side of freeing black people at the very founding of the country. I'm going to show you before the country was founded, and I'll show you who the first members were of very key positions in government to validate this claim. All right. So I think it gives, especially black folks, it gives us a way to totally reshape our narrative
and understand, like, oh, wow, the man is not out to get us, and that I gotta be careful. My thing is, I'm always gonna say, I don't tell the story about the other man who wants to get you. I'm worried about the people who are on our side because their plan actually worked. I'm not saying there's no man. I'm not saying there's no enemy, brother. Right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying, historically speaking, black people's enemy got dealt with and they lost. And it's my job to champion those people, those ideas, those things that really allow us to be where we at right now in the land of the free. Some of us are rich. Okay, getting it. All right. All right. So let's meet some people. We're gonna see George Washington on the far left, your first president. We're going to see John Adams, who becomes the first vice president. We're going to see Thomas Jefferson, who's going to become the first secretary of state. These three are interesting because John Adams will become the second president. Thomas Jefferson will become the third president. Okay. Even though their first positions in government, they operate on the federal level, they operate in different positions, but they will become your second and your third. Alexander Hamilton, the first Secretary of the Treasury. John Jay, the first Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. James Madison, although a fourth president, but he is the father of the Constitution. Also, he's the father of the Virginia Plan, which is the template for Virginia, in which the United States Constitution is going to copy. Okay, so he's important, although he's not a first, but he's important. Benjamin Franklin, first U.S. postmaster. Henry Knox, first Secretary of War. Randolph Edmund Jennings, first Attorney General. And Clement Biddle, the first U.S. Marshal. Everybody is holding the first position besides James Madison, but he VIP because he's the father of the Constitution in which we based our laws. Okay. Also, note that Randolph Edmund Jennings, first Attorney General, will also be the one to speak out and for the what James Madison wrote as the Virginia Plan. Okay. So they both from the same area, and he's championing this Virginia Plan. And inside of the Virginia Plan, they want to stop the importation of slavery. Just to give you a little spoiler. Okay. So let's get into these gentlemen here. All right. So moving on. All right. So this is a summary view of rights of British America. And this is in 1774. This is before the Constitution. This is before the American Revolutionary War. And you will see in blue, it says that the abolition of domestic slavery is the great object of desire in those colonies where it was unhappily introduced in their infant state. But previous to the enfranchisement of slaves we have, it is necessary to exclude all further importations from Africa. I can stop right there. This is on a record, and this is written by Thomas Jefferson. This is on a record known as a summary view of the rights of British America. It is on the record. I can't stress that enough, that, hey, we want to get rid of slavery inside of these colonies. We're not the United States of America yet. That don't happen yet. The American Revolutionary War is 1775. That don't even happen yet. Inside the 13 colonies, there's people that's against slavery. Thomas Jefferson is one of them. Kind of want to give you a prelude to that. All right. All right. My favorite document, that following same year, October, a couple months later. Point number one, that from and after the first day of December next, we're not going to import into British America from Great Britain or Ireland any goods, merchandise whatsoever. No, I'm sorry. Number two, we will neither import nor purchase any slave imported after the first day of December next. After which time we will wholly discontinue the slave trade and will neither be concerned in it ourselves, nor will we hire our vessels, nor sell our commodities or manufactures to those who are concerned in it. This is a 14-point bullet point, like 14 bullet points. And the second bullet point is they want to get rid of slavery. Again, this is 1774, before the American Revolutionary War. Another document, 1774 is really the great year. Okay. Who signs off on this document? Three people we need to pay attention to: John Adams in red at the top, John Jay in the middle, and George Washington at the bottom. These three gentlemen signed off on it. This is important because you saw one's going to be your first president, one's going to be the first chief justice, John Jay in the middle, and then Adams is going to become your second president, right? Which will be 23 years after he signed this. All of them about 15 years after they signed it, get their first position. Okay. So this is interesting. So they signed that document 15 years before the creation of the federal government. And then they become the first in their respective capacity: president, vice president, chief justice. Okay. That's amazing. All right. So I love this picture because I think with George Washington here, that black man holding his hand in the vest and that cryptic symbol is saying something to us in our history that we need to look into and stop attacking things from the angle of things are not in our favor. That gesture is pointing to something. Okay. What if it's us? All right. Well, George Washington today, March 22nd, today, that's today, right now. We should be celebrating this. March 22nd, George Washington signed a law that prohibited American ships from engaging in the international slave trade and outfitting ships for that purpose. In other words, you cannot export slaves. It's illegal. That's today, right now. Okay. So that's a great thing. All right. So long live George, long live the first strike at slavery as a law. Literally, federal law. This is the first strike at it. Stop the exportation of slaves. Very wise, because what if in 100 plus years or 100 less years, what if you're going to need black people to fight against the slave master called a civil war? So if I had to cripple slavery in stages, would you get rid of the domestic aspect first? No, you can't do it right now because we just fought the British. And we're about to fight the British again, if you know history, in 1811, the 1812 war. That's really a part two, you know what I mean, of the American Revolutionary War. But if you're smart, you will stop the exportation of slaves, let the slaves stack up because they may become your ally in the future. And lo and behold, in less than 100 years, when the Civil War get here, guess what? They became our allies in the future. Okay. So you may not have the muscle to stop it now in its totality, as far as the domestic aspect of it. So it has to end in phases. Okay. So George Washington is the first blow in this phase. All right. All right. Move over to John Jay. Mr. John Jay, who we saw sign the 1774 Articles of Association, who is the first Chief Justice. He became what? A founding member and first president of the New York Society for Promoting the Manumissions of Slaves. Mr. John Jay. Right? I wish I had that Mr. Cheeks. Renee, ghetto love is a love that we live by. Give it up for my shorty. She studied law down in John Jay. Y'all remember that? Y'all are too young for that. The first Chief Justice is on the record not only signing a document in 1774 before the creation of the federal government that says we want to get rid of slavery, he also becomes the founder and president of the New York Manumission Society to help slaves get free. He stood on that. John Jay stood on business, as we was called it today. Stood on business. This is your first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, possibly before he even get elected, which means what? Possibly coming out of his own pocket to create a society to free slaves. our first Chief Justice. Come on, man. What y'all talking about? I don't know what they talking about. Now, John Jay, James Madison, and Alexander Hamilton, they write a series of papers known as the Federalist Papers, and they styled it under a pseudonym. They didn't say they was the author of it, but it's some essays that's talking about the creation of the government. Okay? These three. So we just saw John Jay, but what about James Madison and Alexander Hamilton? Well, James Madison, widely considered what? The father of the Constitution. That's what he is. Also including what? The Virginia Plan, as I said earlier. But James Madison is what? The ACS, the American Colonization Society. He served as the third president from 1833 until his death in 1836. It was an organization that sought to relocate free African Americans from the United States to Africa. This is the father of the Constitution. The father of the Constitution of the United States became a president of a society that financed and built boats to take our people to a new country that was created called Liberia. That's a fact. Liberia is next to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone was created from the abolitionists from the English. The Americans, abolitionists, said, we're going to create a new country in Africa. And those who want to get out of here, get away from your slave master, because we might have to go to civil war. We don't know about this thing yet, but it's getting ugly. If y'all want to get out of here and y'all got a right to go back home, y'all can go back home to Africa. This is the father of the United States Constitution set as a president for that society to do that, to get us back to the motherland. That's not talked about. It's not talked about, but it's true. Okay. All right. My thing is up here. So I believe this may be Alexander Hamilton's because I can't see that little corner there. Let me see. Yep. Alexander Hamilton was a founding member of the New York Manumission Society, which was established in 1785. Now, Alexander Hamilton is your first Secretary of the Treasury. So him and John Jay, because John Jay was the founder of the New York Manumission Society. Oh, guess what? So was Alexander Hamilton. Oh, guess what? These two are two of the three authors for the Federalist Papers with James Madison, who what? Created an organization to get slaves back to Africa. This is the founding of the country that's doing this. You see what I'm saying? Your first Secretary of the Treasury, the father of the Constitution, and your first Chief Justice, all pretty much nominated, appointed by George Washington, your first president. Okay? All right. So I can hear you saying, but George Washington had slaves. I keep telling you, you would have slaves too if you were a kid and your parents died and your in-laws' parents died and you inherit them, right? You better look at the actions of a man and get out your feelings about a system that was imposed upon us. As we just saw, Thomas Jefferson said, yo, you threw this on us, King George. Maybe next time we'll go into Thomas Jefferson's original Declaration of Independence where he getting in King George behind. You Christian king, and he's playing on his morals, playing on his morality. Thomas Jefferson was getting in King George behind. All right. So John Adams. All right. President John Adams responded to two abolitionists who had sent him an anti-slavery pamphlet. And this is what he said in blue. My opinion against it has always been known, noting that he has always employed freemen both as domestics and laborers, and never in my life did I own a slave. Okay. Now, John Adams is not an open abolitionist. He morally, he don't agree with it, but he's not like signing law. Well, I can't say that because he did sign. He did sign, as we saw, John Adams signed the 1774 Articles of Association, and Clause 2 said we won't have no slaves. He signed that, but he's not openly against it in a sense, like some other people created societies. But his wife, they said Abigail, this is what they say, Abigail was a prominent advocate for both women's rights and the abolition of slavery, expressing her views through her extensive correspondence with her husband, John Adams, and her actions as a public figure. Okay. Now, Abigail Adams opposed slavery in favor of this abolition, expressing her views in letters to her husband as early as 1774. Okay. Which happens to be the same year they sign off on the Articles of Association. Right. So Abigail is with it. They have a son, John Quincy Adams. Adams' long second career in Congress was least as important as his earlier career as a diplomat. Throughout, he was conspicuous as an opponent of the expansion of slavery and was at heart an abolitionist, though he never became one in the political sense of the word. In 1839, he presented to the House of Representatives a resolution for a constitutional amendment providing that every child born in the United States after July 4th, 1842 should be born free. That with the exception of Florida, no new state should be admitted into the Union with slavery, and that neither slavery nor the slave trade should exist in the District of Columbia after July 4th, 1845. The gag rules, a resolution passed by Southern members of Congress against all discussions of slavery in the House of Representatives, effectively blocked this. I told y'all the last episode, John Quincy Adams was the one who fought for 7 to 8 years to get rid of the gag rule. Y'all just saw the South introduced a gag rule saying, don't talk about slavery, period, on the House floor. We ain't talking about it. This dude is fighting it for 7, 8 years. Not only that, this guy is saying, hey, I proposed a bill that people should be citizens, free. You know, what you just saw it, right? No slavery in DC and all that good stuff. He is on your side. So the Adams family is on your side. Okay. Go drink you some Adams beer tonight. Okay. Good people. All right. So let's get into the first district U.S. attorney, attorney general. Randolph Edmund Jennings, founding father, lawyer, governor of Virginia, second United States Secretary of State, first United States Attorney General as a delegate from Virginia to the Continental Convention. Randolph wrote and introduced the Virginia Plan, which strongly imposed what? The importation of slaves. This is the first federal prosecutor. Now look at this. Look at that. Look how the federal court is shaping up. The first chief judge, John Jay, abolitionist, creates New York Manumission Society, get free. Now your first federal prosecutor, abolitionist. Come on, man. That's us in government right now on our side. The first. Okay. All right. Let's blow this back up. All right. So here's a gentleman by the name of Edward Biddle. All right. I'm sorry. Really, this is Colonel Clement Biddle. But the Biddle family, as you would see, a family member of his in 1779, he was appointed to the committee to introduce a bill to abolish slavery in the state, but died before it passed in the following year, which I believe is Pennsylvania. Okay. So the Biddle family, from my research, had came over with the Penn family, Pennsylvania, William Penn. They were Quakers, also known as the Society of Friends. Definitely gonna have to do a video on them. The Society of Friends. Get your Quaker Oats oatmeal. Get your Quaker Oats grits that need to be on your altar. We owe a lot to the Society of Friends. A lot. This is Benjamin Franklin's a part of this. These are the group of Protestant Christians who are the radicals that's saying, oh, according to the Bible, this slavery stuff ain't good. We shouldn't be doing this. This ain't right. And then they become the first abolitionist movements across America, especially in Germantown, Pennsylvania, aka a part of Philadelphia. Okay. So the Biddle family, your first district attorney, federal prosecutor, basically attorney general, He's a Quaker, abolitionist. Okay. All right. Now let's look at the first Secretary of War, Henry Knox. So he wasn't an open abolitionist. So they got a paraphrased sentiment of his letter that they said they found was, how can a people fight for liberty and hold others in bondage? Okay. So he was more said to be, he privately condemned it. He didn't jump into a movement to go against it, but it was something that morally, it just wasn't good for him. So they say, but this is your first Secretary of War. Okay. Now, TJ, my man, the GOAT, your first Secretary of State, he's the one that's going to make it illegal to import slaves in the United States, effective January 1, 1808. Okay. Now, Thomas Jefferson, as you see on my notes at the bottom, when they signed the law in 1807, that's 33 years later from 1774, because remember, Jefferson in 1774 has an introduction on the summary rights of the British colonies that said it is necessary to exclude all further importations from Africa. 33 years later, here's the real 33rd degree. 33 years later, Jefferson is still standing on his square. Importation of slavery, no more. 33 years it took him to get that vision to come into fruition. Look at the longevity. Look at the dedication of that. 33 years? Wow. 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 Where's one of my constitutions? Hold up. Hold on. I got a plant baby down. Hold on. That's cool. Forgot that was right there. All right. So I'm gonna look up something real quick in the Constitution. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I really need my short Constitution. Nope, that ain't it. Yeah. This is Article 1, Section 9. Or Article 2, Article 1. Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. Now watch this. We're going to go look at this in real time. Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. Let me see. Article 1, Section 9. And I'm going to share my screen in a minute. All right. And let me do this. Wait, let's go read the Constitution together. All right. Article 1, Section 9. What do it say? The migration or importation of slaves. This is what's talking about, slaves. The migration or importation of such persons as any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit, meaning the importation of slaves, it shall not be prohibited, meaning we shall not stop it, by Congress prior to the year 1808. So they're saying right here, and as you see, it's called the restrictions on the slave trade. We are not going to prohibit this before the year 1808. Ladies and gentlemen, this is like 1787, it's actually 1788 when they do this, right? 1788. This is the Constitutional Convention is 1788, 87. Let me come back here. It's 1787 to 1789. Now, you just saw with your own eyes, the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, says the federal government will not prohibit the importation of slaves prior to the year 1808. That's what they said. Now, when January the 1st, 1808 gets here, what became law? You're not allowed to import slaves. So then the question becomes, well, did they stand true to the Constitution? Did they stand on business? They stood on business. As early as, for Thomas Jefferson, at least 33 years from when he was writing about the colonies. At least 33 years. They stood on business. So I don't know, 1788, that's 20 years. That's right, because it was a 20-year rule. So 1788, when they writing this, it don't become ratified and effective to 1789. But 1788, when they writing this, 1808, that's 20 years. So they stood on business for 20 years. And soon as they didn't wait to February, they didn't wait to March. They waited to midnight, like how we be doing, having midnight parties on New Year's. As soon as the clock struck 12, slavery was a wrap far as importing slaves into the country. So what did we learn today? What did we learn today? Oh, we ain't finished because we got Benjamin Franklin. I'm sorry. Hold on. We learned that they was on our side. Benjamin Franklin, first postmaster general. But in 1787, Benjamin Franklin became the president of the Pennsylvania Society for Promoting the Abolition of Slavery. This is your first postmaster general. Also a Quaker, helping free slaves. Okay? All right? That's what we saw. Okay? So he was the last one. All right? It's the last one. So what we saw today was absolutely the first people to hold what we would call cabinet positions were anti-slavery. The first people to hold cabinet positions were anti-slavery. We got some explaining to do. We really don't. Because the only thing you could say is, again, I don't want to talk about the people called the South, who came back and said, hey, listen, y'all got to understand this was war and legislation before it became a physical war, known as the Civil War. War and legislation is like this. 1794 is the Slave Trade Act. The South is saying, yo, our slaves keep running up north, and we need a Fugitive Slave Act, because when we try to go up there and get our property back, y'all ain't giving us our property. So Congress, we need to make it clear that if our property, these slaves run up north, the law is on our side. That was passed in 1794. The Congress passed it. Who had to sign it as president? George Washington signed it. But the very next year, 1795, George Washington signs a law. Somebody else on our side said, you know what? Y'all want a tough fugitive slave law? I tell you what, it's illegal to export slaves out this country then. And then that passes. I don't care about the story of the slave master. I can't stress that enough. We heard enough of that narrative. See, it's biased when you just want to tell their side as the victor. That's why I'd be like, yo, that's low key. No, that's low key. I'm saying from my era. All right. That's low key gay. Okay. Meaning it's just too soft as a man. You shouldn't do that. Why are you sitting up here championing what the enemy has done? You're supposed to study your enemy and beat your enemy. I'm saying you ain't even got to study them because they already got beat. Study the dudes who beat them. These dudes didn't already beat them. They stood on business. They beat them fair and square. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's what we saw today. All right. So salute to these guys right here, man. Salute to them. Smoke one to them. Cheers to them. Drink some vegan juice to them. Do something. Because today, as we just saw today, 3/22, March 22nd, was the day that they passed the law to stop the exportation of slaves. Right on what? 2 days, one to 2 days after the equinox, right? In a very, very prominent position in space. Very important. So salute to George Washington, who I know. You know what I'm saying? who I know. All right. Stood on business, man. Stood on some serious business. All right. So I'm gonna get out of here. That's that, man. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure y'all click that like button. I appreciate y'all. And y'all can listen to some of this Union Soldier on the way up out of here. All right. Peace.
Salute to the Colonel, nigga. Master P. Colonel James Montgomery. The North is bout it. He gave Harriet Tubman guns, nigga. Real shit. Google it. Ohio, nigga. We bout it. I'm from the O-H-I-O. The clan don't want smoke, cause we quick to tag they toes. Boom. We from the North. We take no shows. Kidnap these crackers and hang their throats by the rope. We with Lincoln, fuck you hunky stinking, bloody your white sheets and lead the clan stinking. This Ohio, slaves came for survival, Confederate Dixie flag, Ku Klux Klan are my rivals. I got my rifle, and I'm killing rebels. Master Far Muhammad, call the white devils. This supreme wisdom, you ain't on my level. Paramedic is dead, go and get the shovel. Dropping Mr. Clues, Union soldiers in blue. Abe, read the slaves, pussy nigga, won't you tell the truth? What you scared for? Line of black folks, stop telling niggas it was a trick from the North. Slavery got you fucked, cause it's in your DNA. Abe ain't breed the slaves, it's some whole shit to say. Cause we bout it, I don't doubt it. Harriet Tubman, Union soldiers, won't you niggas shout it? Shout 54, Massachusetts. Abe gave us guns, we marched south and we used them. 7-shot Spencers when the South was against us. You can see I'm getting defensive cause your lies be offensive. You don't make sense, get your ass off the fence. Harriet Tubman would've shot you cause you acting like a bitch. You a bitch. What side you on? Screaming in the microphone. Union soldiers on patrol told the South get gone. We beat them, they suckers we defeat them. Emancipation Proclamation, Battle of the Kingdom. Won't you Google, nigga? You a doodle, nigga. Try to come against me and watch me do that voodoo, nigga. Union shooters strapped with the Rugers. We beat Breast and Bragg, Fag Ass in Chattanooga. South Carolina, they won't out, cause Abe Lincoln took the White House. This is slavery, nigga. It's what it's about. Won't you check the records from the dirty South? These are facts, bitch. Won't you shut your fucking mouth? Trying to sound deep, YouTube chasing clout. We bout it, we rowdy. This Ohio nigga, and we been bout it. This the Civil War, won't you check the record? If the shit is false, won't you please contest it? William Sherman, he bout it, wrote 40 acres in the mule, so we bout it. Edward Stanton, he bout it, he the Secretary of War, so we bout it. General Grant, you know we bout it, made Lee surrender, cause he bout it. James Montgomery, he bout it, gave Harriet Tubman guns, so he bout it. We all from Ohio, nigga, cause we bout it. No slaves across the Ohio River, forget about it. This up north, nigga, we bout it. Ain't no slaves.